babies open their soft, bright yellow beaks the instant they sense his arrival. He stuffs the broken cricket down the most insistent gaping mouth and flies off in search of more food. All is quiet on this tree-lined street, save the drone of a nearby power mower, and nothing disturbs the orderly coming and going of birds at work. Cars pass. Occasional screen doors slam. The lawnmower goes silent, and the mockingbirds shuttle back and forth with their beaks full of grasshoppers and beetles to stuff those insatiable little gullets. Babies must be fed. The young are always hungry. Into the silence comes the sound of a crooning voice. The mockingbird buzzes a raspy alarm and watches as a human at the end of the wall stretches out a hand to the cat. She rises, sniffs the strange hand, then allows it to stroke her sleek back. No threat to his mate or their babies, the mockingbird decides, and goes back to scanning the yard. His eye locks onto a huge grasshopper there at the base of a nearby flowering Judas. It's one of those big brown and green creatures, enough to fill at least 3 ravenous beaks. The instant the bird approaches, it springs up, but the bird is quicker and catches it on the wing. Intent on smashing the struggling grasshopper into manageable bits, the mockingbird pays no attention to what's happening at the far end of the wall. And by the time he flies up to the nest to distribute his grisly morsels, the cat has vanished from his tiny brain as completely and as finally as she has vanished from the wall. There are babies to feed. Only the babies matter. 2. Boxer shorts. That's how she always thinks of him. The old-fashioned kind, made of striped cotton, with snap fasteners, except that half the time they'll be unsnapped, with a little circle of damp where he's gotten up to use the bathroom and has been careless about the last drop or two before tucking his thing back inside the striped cotton. If it's after midnight and her light is still on, he comes into her room without knocking, as if hoping to catch her doing something forbidden. "Time you were asleep," he growls, before lumbering back down the hall. That's okay. A lot of fathers do stuff like that. What's not okay are the nights she gets home after they've gone upstairs, and he comes to the head of the stairs and stands there, looking down at her, his bathrobe hanging open. Or he's waiting in the living room, sitting spraddle-legged in his lounge chair, and he makes her sit down on the couch across from him while he cross-examines her about the evening. "Why is your skirt so wrinkled? Were you in the back seat of his car? Did you let him put his tongue in your mouth?" That's the first thing men want with a girl, to get their hands inside her blouse, put their hands in her panties. Did you let him? Did you? Is my daughter nothing but a slut? Look at me when I talk to you, young lady. But she doesn't know where to look. At his eyes, hot and greedy for something she doesn't understand. At the gaping slit in those boxer shorts where his thing hangs dark and disturbing against those wrinkled, hairy lumps. When he sees her looking there, the striped fabric quivers and rises as the thing beneath engorges and swells. He usually stands then. "I just want your solemn word that you're still a virgin," he says. Sobbing now, she swears that she is. And now he knots his robe around him and retires in patriarchal seemliness to the master bedroom. Her mother often complains of insomnia, yet somehow she never wakes up when he lectures her at night like this. 3. The kitchen is even filthier than the rest of the trailer, every surface littered with fast food cartons, soft drink cans, wilted lettuce leaves, dirty dishes, gummy knives and forks. "What'd you expect?" she bristles. "House beautiful? Supper on the table? When half the time you don't even come home for 3 days? What's the matter? Couldn't find any fresh meat to poke it into tonight?" And now she's in there on the couch, crying, 'cause she got the slapping she was begging for. Well, damn it all to frigging hell. A woman pushes a man like that, what's she expect? A bunch of roses? All her fault. Yeah, and it's her fault, too, if he has to go looking for what he can't find at home anymore, including a clean glass. Every single glass they own is sitting dirty on the narrow counter. Enraged, he sweeps them all to the floor and bangs out of the back door to go where it'll be cool and quiet, and clean glasses appear with the snap of a finger. 4. George Jones' nasal twang fills the flashy little car. 2 speakers in the rear and 1 on each door. But the thief's mind isn't on cheating and hurting songs at the moment, and it's certainly not on the lush green trees and fields flashing past the closed car windows. No, it's remembering details from those articles in the News and Observer last summer. They made it sound so easy, like Velma Barfield, the death row granny, and last woman executed in North Carolina. 5 or 6 people died before anybody started really noticing. A woman's crime. Middle-aged women. Women like Blanche Taylor Moore, who's sitting up there on death row right this minute. Before her trial actually began, they were saying she might have poisoned as many as 9 people. So who'll notice one more? Anyhow, you really can't count that first time, because you don't know for sure that's what did it. There had been only a few syrupy drops left in that little bottle under the sink in the church kitchen, like liquid saccharin, and who's to say it really made much of a difference to that last glass of iced tea? He might have gone on and died anyhow. But those few drops emptied the bottle, and where to get more? It's just like all the old-timers keep mouthing. Nobody ever notices what's slipping away till it's mostly already gone. Isn't there one single old-fashioned, honest-to-God country store left in the whole state of North Carolina? Used to be you could count on a storekeeper keeping stuff. Old stock pushed to the back of the shelves. New stuff shoved in at the front. Root around a little, and you could find 1979 goods still marked at 1979 prices, and the owner would never dream of saying, "Hold on a minute, I believe that's gone up a dime or two since I shelved it." When did hick stores start acting like 7-Eleven quick stops, with computerized inventory controls, wide and brightly lit aisles, even video cameras to record everybody who steps up to the cash register? After driving up and down every back road in Colleton County this steamy Saturday morning in mid-June, the thief's almost ready to consider other alternatives, when suddenly, at a nothing-looking crossroads in the middle of tobacco and sweet potato fields, here it is. A big shabby cinder block with battered gas pumps and a promising air of neglect. The hard-packed dirt yard is thickly cobbled with 40 years' worth of rusty bottle caps, and the dirty plate glass windows hold faded announcements of long-past gospel sings or benefit fish fries. From the number of pickups and cars parked out front, business is pretty good, which means that whoever runs the store must be too lazy and/or too tight to spend money fixing things up. Coming in out of the bright noonday sun makes the crowded interior seem even dimmer than normal, but a quick glance around through